Hello, my name is Juma, the founder of Karma Games and the designer of Clans of Caledonia and its expansion. And I would like to explain you the core actions of Industria and the core new things that will be added through the expansion. Let's have a look. So, first of all, there is a lot of more of the same content, more scoring tiles, more clan tiles, more map modules, but yeah, I don't have to explain you those because they're like explained in detail in the rule book, so I will just explain you the core rules that apply to every game. So first of all, in the setup there are a few differences. For instance, there is one random award tile among many, this extra award tile basically functions the same way the export contract and the settlement scoring worked. The best player in this criterion gains 12 points at the end of the game. The second player gains 6 points. That's just an extra scoring. Then in addition, every player places one farmer's market on the map according to certain rules. Here we have 1-8 that helps in setting up the game in a specific order, so you don't forget anything and you know in which order to do things. So a lot of the stuff is already now set up due to the implementation on Tabletop Simulator, but one thing we still would have to do here is the setup or the placement of the farmer's market. And every player is dealt 1, and then you place it on a tile that is has 3 neighboring spaces, land spaces, and there must be at least 2 spaces in between 2 different farmers markets. So if let's say I could place mine here, and then the next player could place theirs. Actually, it is placed in reverse turn order, so the last player starts, then the second last player, etc. And then this player couldn't place theirs here, but they could place it here, and so on and so on. So what do these farmers market do? First of all, those hexes are now blocked, so no one can actually place any units on the hexes with a farmer's market. The initial placement of farmer's market miners doesn't affect the farmer's market, so if you place something here, nothing happens. But when during your turn in the action phase you place any unit next to a farmer's market, you could set, and next to means like neighboring, you could sell either a 1 wool or 1 whiskey up to 4 times. You could sell up to 4 wool and 4 whiskey to the market, but you have to choose which one, and you have to have that type of good in stock, obviously. And then let's say blue had 4 merchants and 4 whiskey, then they could sell the whiskey at a better price, because if, as you can see here, it's like it's written +2 and 3 coins. That is basically the opposite of the neighborhood bonus. So you would, for processed goods, you get a price that is 3 better than the current price. So in this case, that would be 10 plus 3 is 13. And you could sell 4 whiskey for 13 each. You still need the merchants, and the price drops as usual. And one of the whiskey that you sold, you would basically place here, because now the demand for whiskey is fulfilled on this tile. And as soon as the demand of wool is also fulfilled, the whole tile would be removed, and only now people can actually place any units there. And yeah, since this works the same way as the neighborhood bonus, you wouldn't be able to trigger the farmer's market by playing adjacent but across river. There it wouldn't apply because it's not neighboring. Okay, So what else is new? Let me have a look here. Well, there is a variant that you can play, and I think it's quite a lot of fun. You should try it out. Before the farmers market, you can actually randomize the starting prices by rolling the die, and so the prices may go up one up or down, or stay the same, depending on that. And if you play with a train module, that's the whole train map, then in reverse turn order, you would place your train on a city. So here we have like 10 normal cities. They have this kind of train station graphic, and then we have 2 special cities that are currently not available. Those are actually called towns, and those are cities. And the cities are not available because there is a lock, and you first have to unlock the access to those cities. So we would now place our trains on let's put this one here, for instance, and the other one can go here, here, and here. Obviously you would think a bit more before doing that. And then when it's actually the action phase starts, I can now already explain the train action, how that works. When it's your turn, you may move your train 1 or 2 stations on the train map along the tracks to deliver goods and gain the respective delivery bonus. So, for instance, blue could move here, that's 1 step, and there. Then blue would have to deliver 1 cheese, 1 whiskey in order to gain this bonus, namely 15 money, and they could immediately take a contract. And if they already had a contract, they could even stack the contract, so the other contract would go on top. In addition, they would gain, every time they do a player does a delivery, they gain their milestone marker of their player color, put them in their stock. This shows that they have done 1 delivery. So this is already worth 2 points at the end of the game. It can be worth up to 20 points for 5 deliveries, because you can do only 1 delivery per round. And yeah, that's it basically. If, however, blue wanted to, let's say go over here. No, that's not possible. Let's say blue wanted to, well, let's say red wanted to go now here. Red could go like this and this, but every time you pass another player, you pay 3 money to that player on the train map. So this would make red pay 3 pounds to black. The same would apply if they went here. That's also possible to do a delivery in the same town as another player is currently located at. And if it were like this, and red wanted to pass or end here, they would have to pay 3 pounds to both the black and the white player. Here there is some stuff quite interesting, which I will come to in a second. You can only do a delivery if you can actually deliver the goods. You can forfeit the bonus of the delivery bonus though. Yeah, and when you do that, you tilt your train to the side, or in TTS, in this online version, we just tilt it to the other side where there is a ZZZ to indicate it's now sleeping, because you can only do 1 delivery a round, and now it's kind of clear that you already did a delivery this round. Then we have the milestone action here. That means place 1 milestone marker on a milestone that you satisfy. So we have randomly 4 milestones in this game. There are many more. And those ask for some specific condition. For instance, this one asks for 7 upgrades on your player board. This one asks to have units on 5 hexes in a straight row on the game map. So you would have to have, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you had hexes on those 5 hexes, then you would qualify. Yeah, this is just an example. There are many more. So when you fulfill one of those conditions of the milestones, you could basically spend an action and use your milestone marker from your stock to place it on the milestone spot with the highest available points. So if you're first, you get 8 points, 4 points for the second, and so on. And here you have a milestone, and here you have a milestone that are basically shortcuts. So when you have claimed those milestones, you can basically go from this town to this town directly, even though they're quite far from each other, or from this town to this town directly. If you claim this one, the colors show which lock is associated with which unlock. So claiming a milestone does not only give you points, but it also gives you more options. These 2 milestones, they refer to the cities of Edinburgh and Glasgow respectively. So if you claim those milestones, you have access to this city, including its delivery bonus tile. So before, you couldn't actually access the city here. If you claimed the milestone in the city and you make a delivery there, let's say blue at some point makes a delivery here, then blue gains 2 extra points. And if blue has this milestone claimed and they use the shortcut, then they gain an immediate action. So basically they can do 2 actions in a row. They can do a delivery and do something else. For instance, claiming a milestone. So then you might have already seen here we have a refill board, which basically means the contracts that will be used to refill the contract board will be used from here, from left to right. And as soon as something, a spot becomes empty, you refill immediately from the right. If you gain a building bonus, namely the one that is triggered when you build your 4th factory of one type, then you would not draw 3 random contracts from the pile, but instead you would choose one of the 3 contracts that are on the top left of the contract board, as indicated here. For Clan Buchanan, who get to take 2 contracts out of 6, they would even choose 2 out of 6 from those 6, as indicated with this bracket. And apart from that, let me see if there is anything else. But I think those are actually the most important changes of the expansion. Of course, the clans themselves bring some news. One thing I forgot. The last spot, the 5th delivery on the train board, doesn't give a milestone marker, but gives a train station. And that does actually, I will explain what that does is, let's say red was about to do their 5th delivery. They already have 4 milestone markers. They're doing their 5th delivery and gain this train station. When you gain a train station, you immediately place the train station on a hex that is reach in your reach, and that contains a unit of another player. So you could basically try to fit them both on one hex, and that would that this train station counts as a unit of yours for any scorings there might be, but also it increases your reach, because like now red could for instance like expand this way and maybe get to another portile, which otherwise wouldn't be possible. So the train station can help you get through a blockade. Yeah, I think those are the most important changes, and yeah, I'm very curious to hear your feedback. Thank you so much. One more thing about the train board that I forgot to explain was here you have these delivery tiles that are random at the start of the game. So at the end of a round, when it's also visible on the player aid, you check where there are sleeping trains that were used this round. I mean, basically a train that is sleeping was used this run, and then you remove the tiles next to them, and then they are refilled by tiles from the draw pile, and namely the slots are marked here. This is like slot 3, this is like slot 1, and so on, and you would refill them in ascending order by those demand tiles in this refill track, and this way you can already look ahead and see what kind of goods will be in high demand and plan accordingly. And so this would now go here because this was the only delivery this round, let's say. Okay, I think that's it. I'm curious to hear your feedback, and thanks for watching.